Hi, I'm Chuck Colson with this week's 2-Minute Warning. The whole country is gripped in an anti-government mentality. I understand why. Just a few weeks ago, the Senate increased funding for a little-known government agency called the Economic Development Administration. The Wall Street Journal reported on some recent grants. How about $2 million to build a culinary amphitheater and wine testing room in Washington State? Or $1.5 million to promote tourism in the Northern Mariana Islands? Or another cool $1 million to promote a cultural enrichment conference center in Arkansas? Come on. If this kind of government tomfoolery doesn't get you angry, you've lost your sensitivities. You've been numbed, morally neutered. You ought to be indignant and demand that politicians change their ways. But even acknowledging that the government does things every day that drive me absolutely nuts, I refuse to fall for the trap that many conservatives and libertarians and evangelicals have fallen into, and that is to be not just against the way government is working now, but to be against government, period. Now, let me ask you, what's the alternative to established government? Mob rule. Look at the riots in Greece over budget cuts. Did you see the insanity in Britain when the government increased the cost of college tuition? The mobs even attacked a car carrying Prince Charles. We saw a mob rule right here at home in Madison, Wisconsin, when protesters shut down the state capitol. But folks, listen, mob rule never lasts. Tyranny inevitably follows. Look at Germany in the 1930s. Tired of years of street fighting and anarchy and high prices, the German people embraced Adolf Hitler. Even after the war, the Holocaust, and the destruction of the country, many Germans would still say, well, Hitler brought us order. This is madness. So let me put it this way. The alternative to governance isn't freedom. It's mob rule, followed by tyranny. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm a traditional conservative. I believe in limited government. I'd like government authority to shift more and more away from Washington, which to me has become a foreign country, to the states, closer to the people. But I'm not for throwing the baby out with the bathwater. That's because government has divine sanction to promote justice and preserve order. And we Christians, of all people, have got to understand that. We understand we live in a fallen world. What was the first thing God did after the fall? He established government. He put a cop on the beat, an angel with a flaming sword to guard the garden. This is why John Calvin, one of my theological mentors, placed such a high value on the magistrate appointed by God. Now, I'm glad people are fed up with Congress. Good. Throw the bums out. Let's get people in there who understand that Washington has to change its ways. I'm all for it, and I, for one, would vote against anyone, Republican or Democrat, who supports spending millions of dollars for a wine-tasting facility. But limited government, yes. Anti-government, no. Not in this fallen world. I'm Chuck Colson. That's this week's 2-Minute Warning.